The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.nikkiclarkenetwork.com.
All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. How everybody doing? You're good? Awesome, awesome. Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Show live taping at the White Elephant, 366 Queen Street East, and I'm so happy to be back. The spring feeling is in the air and there's great energy in the room, so it's about to turn up tonight. You ready for it? Yeah! All right. So before we get into anything, I want to ask you a question. What time is it? Hot Topics. That's right, it's time for Hot Topics, and there's a lot going on in the news. So joining me in the Hot Topics discussion is none other than DJ Ron John. Please welcome him. Wow, there's just so much going on in the headlines. So the big one is Nepal. You heard about what happened, the devastation on Saturday. 7.8 magnitude earthquake in Nepal and devastated thousands of people, actually 5,000 people right now, as the last count, killed. So that is that's horrific. What do you?
Terrible. From what I heard, it's over 1,000 have died. I'm not sure.
5,000 right now. Yeah. So, and they're still digging up. They're looking for more people.
Yeah.
So
aftershocks as well, and yeah, very, very terrible situation.
Yeah, so we have the UN coming in to provide some relief for the devastated survivors, and hopefully there's some fundraising going on in Toronto to help provide a little bit of relief and comfort from this catastrophe, as you know, natural disaster. So our prayers go out to Nepal and other parts of Southeast Asia that are affected by the earthquake. And then more stuff going on in Baltimore. Did you hear about the Baltimore riots on Monday? Unfortunate. And what happened, riots erupted after there was a press for answers in the case of Freddie Gray, the 25-year-old that was in the custody of police. He died after a spinal cord injury under mysterious circumstances in the police custody in Baltimore, Maryland. So that is why everything just kind of went down south. And
it's a microcosm of a lot of things too, social economic,
yeah.
It's a lot of stuff. Actually, the COO of the Baltimore Orioles, John Angelos, actually issued a statement, and he basically reiterated in support of the people who are protesting, not the actions of the protesters or some of the protesters. We're talking about the disparage of the economic situation that's going on there and the jobs and just basically industry leaving Baltimore. As he said, it's a microcosm of a much bigger issue, and to just pinpoint at this one incident, it's a microcosm of everything. He basically said, at some point people have had enough, and that's what's happening. But he said to ensure the safety of the fans.
Yes.
Of course, he didn't want to have any games be any public coming into the games for safety reasons. But,
so the Baltimore Orioles games are no longer going to be going on until things are settled because there's a curfew. The curfew started on Monday, and that's from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. People cannot be on the streets. So they're under lockdown until things settle. Yeah. So again, prayers go out to Baltimore. A lot of people are reacting to just, like you said, it's a reaction of many social ills that have not been dealt with properly. So let's hopefully we can get things sorted out over the next week. But it's a lot of healing to be done. A lot of healing. Yeah, definitely. So if I could just ask everyone here to just bow your heads in silence. Can we have a moment of silence for the Raptors? Thank you. What happened?
Well, I remember making some Facebook posts and stuff like that. I remember initially when Paul Pierce made this statement about the factor, and it's a pretty brave statement to make, but then again, he's won a championship, so he has some insight. And basically what happened is that, and from my perspective, they didn't have any leadership with any experience to take them over the hump. They didn't have that person to come and say, oh, I'm going to be the leader, I'm the one that's going to hold everybody accountable. I think there could be some issues in the locker room as well. I'm not saying with the players per se, but could be player and coach, because there are some strange things that are going on in that sense. But I think when I look at what Washington had players on their team that have actually been deep in the class and have won championships, so I think that played a big factor as well. I think Toronto needs that seasoning too, with some players on that team. But then I think this is a good kick for them. So next year they don't come in thinking that they can just walk on and beat everybody, because now they're hunted and they have to be prepared to back that up now. So,
Okay.
And I think there's going to be a lot of changes too.
There are going to be a lot of changes.
I do think that you might move Casey. I have a feeling you will, again, because there's a lot of available coaches right now. So we'll see what happens with that.
You know what I noticed?
Yeah.
What was the name of the gentleman who came out at Jurassic Park and cussed?
Oh, that's Masai Ujiri. He's the GM of the Raptors.
Yes. I just forgot his name for a moment. So he got fined $35,000 for his F-bomb.
Yeah.
So if he does it again, it's going to go down again, right?
Yeah.
Because it was up, it was a little higher last year. $35,000, it might go down to like $1,000.
He was scolded by a lot of people for it, actually. His wife, Wayne Embry, was also one of the people that are involved with the Raptors. And of course, he went at it again, right? But I understand.
Why does he do it?
I understand his spirit of what he's doing, but I think he could have approached it differently. I mean, Mark Cuban, who's the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, has his own little way of doing things.
Yes.
Maybe he could have used a little different tactic, because I know you want to get your team up and going.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily.
That's not the way to go about it for morale boosting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and it's costing him some money, but you know, I mean, he makes a lot of money, so that's like pocket change for him. Yeah, that's like $50 for, you know, for him. Okay, thank you for that. So I wanted to talk about something that happened recently. I live in the St. Clair West area. Anybody know that area? Been by it? Okay. Nice, thriving little community. And I was sitting in a coffee shop the other day, and I overheard some news about a bank robbery that happened not too far from me. It was Bank of Montreal, actually. And they told me that what had transpired had to be probably the dumbest criminal act ever on the planet. So this probably will go down as probably the dumbest Toronto criminal. And what I'd like to do for you is to reenact what I think happened based on the account that was given to me. Okay? When I was studying in Montreal, I did a little bit of voice acting. So I do voices. I don't hear voices, but I do voices. So what I'm going to do for you now is reenactment of this potential robbery. And it's with the teller, who is a recent university graduate, and she has an attitude of self-entitlement. And then the robber, who is of European descent, an elderly man. So what happened was he went in the bank with his wife's stocking on his head, and he had his finger in his pocket. And he went up to the teller, and he says, okay, and nobody move, and nobody get hurt. I have a gun in my pocket. So the teller looks at him, and she goes, okay, so what do you want us to do? Now she's irritated. Actually, she's hating this guy, not because potentially he's going to create danger for everyone in the bank, because he's about to rob everybody on her lunch break. So he says, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you to put all the money in the bank. Okay, nobody move, nobody get hurt. So she says, okay, we can do that. But so there's a thing. You're going to have to swipe in because we don't have a lot of money in our till. So I need your access code. So what does he do? Pulls out his access code. Okay, so no problem. Doot. Meanwhile, back at the station, police get heads up that, let's say, Francisco is in the bank, because everybody knows Francisco, okay? He's not the brightest bulb. And the conversation in the teller's head is, OMG, can't even like rob. And he's trying to get the security code going. So he leaves with $400 out of the bank. He doesn't even get across the street because the police stop Francisco. End of story. Dumbest criminal activity on St. Clair West. Thank you. End scene. All right, we've got a great show for you tonight, so you don't want to go anywhere. You're here at the Nikki Clarke Show Live. We'll be right back.
The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.nikkiClarkenetwork.com. The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.nikkiClarkenetwork.com.
Welcome back. Now, we have someone who has been on the show for 3 times, and we love having him. He's a political commentator and columnist with the Huffington Post. Please welcome third-timer Mitch Wolfe to the show.
Nikki, thank you. Actually, OMG, you were fabulous. I could listen to you sing, dance. I mean, actually, maybe, Q. I think they need a better,
We could talk?
Yeah, we can talk. I mean, Chad's okay, but I think you'd really be good, actually.
Thank you. I'll take it. Thank you. Yeah, so we are from Montreal. That's why we've got that joie de vivre going on. We got that little crazy in a box.
Montreal, Toronto, trying to make it in the big city.
Try to make it in the big city,
Yeah.
and you've been doing it for some time now, doing it
A lot
great.
of writing, having a really good time.
Yeah.
And actually today, a different topic. I'm actually going to be a little, provocative, a provocateur. If you know.
You're always provocative. That's what I love about you.
Contrarian.
You go there.
I'm ranting and raving tonight.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay, so my topic tonight is the Senator Duffy trial. This guy, Senator Duffy, as you know, there's a trial.
Senator
going
Duffy,
on.
yeah.
He's
Oh, yeah,
you heard
oh, yeah.
This guy. This guy's a bit of a slime bucket, actually. I mean, like.
He went there.
There's, as you know, he's spent allegedly. So he's on trial, so it's allegedly he's done this. But there's thousands of dollars he has spent, or taxpayers spent, on his personal, stuff.
Like what? Toothpaste? Everything?
Well, even travel. We're getting there. Like travel and hotels and drinking and restaurants and stuff, and even personal stuff. It's clothes, toothpaste, whatever, underarm deodorant, Viagra for us. I mean, anything. The taxpayers pay for everything, and it's horrible. It's actually horrible what's going on. So now he's on trial, and I don't agree with what he's doing. Obviously, don't justify, but what's happening is really interesting. Is that he's on trial now, and notwithstanding what he's done, it seems really bad, maybe illegal, unethical. It seems that he may get off, which is really strange. In other words, he may not be in breach of these Senate rules. Now, that sounds a little boring, but I just want to go there a bit, if you don't mind.
Of course, yeah, we want to hear it.
First of all, because this is, I think there's this writer, Christy Blatchford, says the Senate should be burned down. It's so out of control.
What do you think? What do you think? The Senate? Are they it's out of date? They're like Facebook unlike. No,
Yeah, no,
they've
it's
had
terrible.
enough.
And I'll go through. Some of the rules are just nuts. For example, this guy Duffy has been living all his life in Ottawa, but he wants to be a senator from PEI. So he has his little rundown cottage, and because he has this little rundown cottage, that's his primary residence. He never goes there. It's rundown. Never go. The rules about it are so ridiculous. I could be a senator from PEI. All you need to do is own $4,000 of land. I could own an outhouse in the woods, and I have a residential, sort of component.
Okay.
There. Yeah. So he's really living all his life in Ottawa, but he's faking it in Prince Edward Island. So that's really bad. But it gets worse than that because.
So he doesn't really live in PEI. He just has
really
a shack there, and that's his write-off.
All his life he's been living in Ottawa, but in order to pretend he's living in PEI, but he lives in Ottawa. It's like a secondary residence.
Okay.
So under these crazy rules with the secondary residence, he's allowed to write off all his taxes and mortgages and stuff. Like us, we're poor schmucks. We got to pay that. We have to pay, and he's been paying it for years. But now because he's senator, he doesn't have to pay it. We are paying it for him, the taxpayers.
Okay.
So that's nuts. So
what does the Senate do?
Well, okay, that's a good question. This is actually a good question. Supposedly the Senate is involved with public business. Okay, they meet, they talk about legislation. Okay. Now, if you're involved with public business, another rule. If you're involved with public business, then if you have a lunch, you could write it off. That makes sense. So, but the rules are non-existent. In other words, everything is public business. If you go to a hockey game, it's public business. If you go to a football game, if you see your kids, in Vancouver, you have drinks, you have parties, you go to hotels. This is all public business. Mm-hmm. Everything is so they could write off everything. So,
okay.
So this is the whole point. His expenses are being paid for by the government. And everything's public. He takes a leak, in the bathroom. That's public business. His private business is public business, basically.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's crazy.
Wow.
And I think there's a big problem. Now, unfortunately, there's a really sort of funny thing here. Christy Blatchford, who is a writer for the National Post, she's been following this, and she says it's unbelievable. He's not the only one. There's a lot of other senators who are
abusing the whole thing.
They're living in Ottawa and they pretend they're living in New Brunswick and they're ripping off the taxpayers. And it's more than one. And and she's trying to figure out how are these people getting away with it. And she came up with really something interesting. I don't know if you ever watched Seinfeld. Remember anyone Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Great show. Okay, we got a Seinfeld. So she says this guy Duffy is using actually George Costanza defense. I don't know, do you remember George Costanza?
I love George.
I love George. You remember, he's this baldy guy. You remember he's sort of like unemployed, sort of a schlump.
Lives with his parents.
Never could get a job, and always losing girlfriends. But you remember a few episodes, he was working for the New York Yankees. You remember, in their head office.
Do you remember that one?
Head office? He had a job. Of course, he's going to blow it. So one night, of course, he's working late, and he meets this Ukrainian cleaning woman, and they have sex on his desk. I don't know if you remember that. And he's caught. He's like an idiot. He's caught the next day, and they say, George, you can't do this. So he says, well, I've read all the manual, all the policies. It's nothing. I couldn't find it. There's no rule against having sex with Ukrainian
There's nothing.
women
Yeah.
on my desk. That's the Duffy defense. Like, there's no rules. It's not existing. Where does it say I can't do that? So that's a big problem. So he's looking bad. But also other people are looking bad. CBC's not looking so good either.
No.
Not one of my favorite people. But anyway, CBC, last year, they don't like Harper. They don't like the Conservatives. And last year when this...
CBC, they don't like Conservatives?
No, they don't like Harper. It's a bit leftist. So they're not too crazy about it. But like last year they went bananas. They're doing high fives. All of a sudden there's this big Senate scandal. Duffy, other appointees. It was really hurting Harper. Mm-hmm. So... they said, oh, this is great, got rid of that Harper, get like Trudeau or someone. So they said, now there's a trial. Oh, we're going to throw all our best people at this trial because this is really going to be bad for Harper and all these people. So they brought in, you guys know, Evan Solomon, and people are tweeting, this is, it turns out no one cares. It's all everyone's bored. It was like last year. It's all like old news. It's like redundant. Like no one cares. So CBC spent thousands of dollars covering this. No one cares.
Okay.
So in a sense, it's sort of they have sort of egg on their face. No one is winning in this.
Were they taking a little heat off, their misjudgment hiring John Gomeshi? Was that what they're trying to do? Was that a strategy to take a little heat off that?
Well, the Gomeshi thing. The Gomeshi thing is we've spoken about it a lot. CBC's had the problem with Gomeshi. He's in trouble, obviously.
Yeah, messy Gomeshi.
Messy Gomeshi.
Yeah.
So this is. So what? Again, they're not looking good. CBC on this. They're trying to whitewash this. Mm-hmm. Remember. If you ever go to CBC, they have big pictures of Gomeshi. So they're trying to literally whitewash it off. They're trying to they're trying to get rid of his image, but they can't because frankly. I think it's endemic in the, it's horrible. It's horrible for women to work there because I understand all these Gomeshi types are running around preying on young, supporting women. It's a terrible thing.
Yeah, well, it's pretty
cool. It's not funny, but it's horrible that they tried to they had a report recently to say, these two guys were, they should have, overseen Gomeshi, but in fact it's just a whitewash.
Yeah.
So again, they're trying to put it on the rug, but there's still problems in CBC. So I think there's problems all over. So
there's problems all over, yeah.
Yeah, so we got, Duffy, and it's I think in the grand scheme of things, it's really Sound and Fury signifying nothing, told by an idiot being CBC. That's what I'd say about it. Because of bigger problems, you're talking about Baltimore. We got bigger problems in Canada. We got
so we need minds like you that can explore it and let people know what's happening.
Getting a hate on the Duffy thing, we're all worried about $65,000. Okay, that's bad. He's using but here's another poor schmuck which I feel sorry for. Nigel Wright. I don't know if you guys remember. He felt sorry for I don't know if he felt sorry for Duffy. But the point is, Duffy's screwing everything. He's spending money he shouldn't be. So Wright said, this looks bad on everybody. You're making everyone look bad. You should pay it back to the taxpayer. He says, I don't have any money, Duffy said. So what does Wright do? From his pocket, he pays $90,000 to pay back to the taxpayers. And he's getting dumped upon. He's getting crapped upon.
Really?
Because he's paying back for the taxpayers. Where we have issues, billions of dollars, the government, Ontario government, are losing billions of dollars, wasting on all kinds of gas plants and scandals, and CBC's worried about $65,000 and $90,000 that this guy paid back to taxpayers. So
it just sounds
things are a
little ridiculous.
A bit crazy.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's my rant for today. What can I say?
Well, did you enjoy that? Yeah, we love your rants.
Yeah. It's great fun. I love being on the show.
You.
And they're you're fabulous. I can't believe how talented you are. I'd listen, the whole show should just be you singing. None against the other guests, but you should be singing and dancing and telling jokes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Maybe one day.
Okay.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. Well, you know what? I think people need to follow you. Where can they find you and read more of your articles?
Facebook, it's Mitch Wolf. Twitter, mwolf9216. those are ways of finding me. And I write for Huffington Post and iPolitics, Canada Free Press, and actually recent thing is Rebel Media's writing. So I'm doing some film reviews.
Okay.
So I do not only politics, I do film reviews and theater reviews and stuff. So that's like sort of a little cultural stuff. I write about yoga.
You do everything.
I try, about getting lucky in Montreal. So. Can we say that on family
You
TV?
can say that. You can definitely say that on internet TV.
Montreal, it's a very romantic place.
Oh, it's very romantic.
So it's a how-to. You take your boyfriend, girlfriend to Montreal, like all the romantic places.
How many people have been to Montreal recently or are about to go? I think you need to make some time in Montreal. Montreal is one of those great cities
romantic.
where you've got we can say this, a strip joint church, church. There's an incredible dichotomy of spirituality and sexuality at the same time.
Great place to visit. I'm not sure I've been there. A great place to visit. Take a friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. Yeah.
For sure. Thanks.
Okay.
Mitch, it's been a
Thank you.
pleasure.
My pleasure.
Come back again, 4th time. Mitch Wolf. We'll be right back.
The
Don't go
Nikki
anywhere.
Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.NikkiClarkeNetwork.com.
Welcome back. Sitting beside me is actor and author of Both Sides of the Fence, Surviving the Trap. Please welcome Michael A. Amos. You look like somebody famous. I mean, you're famous. But you look like somebody on TV. Who does he look like?
I don't know.
Somebody.
Hopefully me.
Diggs!
See him?
That's what I was thinking. Somebody cute. Yeah, that's what it's like on the Nikki Clarke Show.
I like the Nikki Clarke
So
Show.
we know some people. We have people in common.
Okay.
Your cousin, Troy Amos Ross,
Yeah.
used to teach me boxing.
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Brampton.
Yeah.
He is a two-time Canadian champion.
Yes,
and
yes.
he's family.
He's family. He's a cousin on my father's side. That's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Okay, and you've got some other famous people, right? You're
Yeah.
the nephew of the Canadian Olympic silver medalist.
Yeah. My uncle Egerton Marcus. He's an '88 silver medalist. Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like the athletic thing. is in
Yeah,
the
I get that
genes?
from the father's side of the family. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, great. And did you do any
I ran.
athletic stuff?
I did a lot of everything growing up. I did a little bit of boxing, and I ended up running track and getting a scholarship to the U.S. So I ran track down in the U.S. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
A full scholarship.
Full scholarship. Yeah.
Very good.
I went to a tiny private school. So. Yeah.
Tiny, what was the name of it?
I don't really like to say their name because, but it was a little tiny school. Yeah. In
Okay.
Indiana. In
It's
Indiana.
in
I'll give
Indiana.
them that. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll give
all
them
right,
that.
That's all they're going to get.
Yeah, that's all they're
Okay.
gonna get.
They got to pay you for the rest.
No, it's just
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. So, can we talk a little bit about where you grow up?
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in the Jane and Finch section of Toronto. Not the easiest area to grow up in, a neighborhood called Driftwood Court, which was
Do you know where that is?
yeah.
Some hands are flying up. Okay.
So it's just been in the news a little bit. Sometimes it's in the news. It's every once in a while. So it's not the easiest section in the city of Toronto to grow up in. Yeah.
So what did you see growing up?
A lot of everything. As a kid, you get exposed to a lot of violence, but much more than that, a lot of hardships. A lot of hardships on the single parents, not just single mothers, but single fathers as well. So you see a lot of that.
Okay, so you were raised by a single parent?
Raised by a single mother, yeah.
Okay, and you're the only child, or did you have
I have two older siblings, an older brother and an older sister, and a younger sister as well now.
Okay, so you're somewhere in the middle.
Somewhere in the middle, yeah.
Okay, and did you do well in school? Were you the kid
I
that
did.
straight A student?
No, I did okay.
Yeah.
Like most people, you know. I did I would say a B and C student, but I always had an aptitude for writing. I liked writing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was your creative.
That caught my attention. That and like gym was yeah. You know, if that counts as like an actual class, but
Of
yeah.
course it is.
Those okay, so then
Yeah.
I was like A student at gym.
A student in gym?
A student at gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Who were the people you were seeing? Like, who were your role models growing up?
Definitely my father's side of the family played a significant role. Just having I actually have 3 Olympians on that side of the family, so that played a significant role. And just family in general. I surround myself with families, uncles and aunts, things like that. Definitely my mother figure, single parent. But my high school track coach comes to mind, because he was definitely the father figure there every day with me through probably one of the most hardest times, which is high school for a kid. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, I've been reading your book.
Okay,
And you have a very interesting life.
a little bit.
So you have experienced both sides of the fence.
I
So
have.
You know, been on the straight and narrow, and then you weren't.
Yeah.
And that was just part of your journey. Can you talk about both sides?
Yeah. So when you grow up in a neighborhood like that, and you're surrounded by violence and just that sort of thing, you tend to have the perception that that's reality. Well, in reality, that's just the 10 by 5 block radius of that area. So, you know, the things that you're doing, you tend to think are correct, you tend to think are right, until you actually get outside of that neighborhood, and then you start to look at things in retrospect, and then you realize that maybe they weren't such the best choices. But at the time, given the limited information that I had and others had,
all you knew.
it's all you know, right?
Okay.
So.
Can you be specific about what you saw?
I've pretty much saw everything from shootings to domestic violence. You name it. It's hard to get away from when you live in a neighborhood like Driftwood Court in Toronto, or Regent Park, or St. Jamestown. You know, all these types of areas. I think as a youth growing up, simply walking home from school,
Was that a safety?
you're witness to that sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you lose friends along the way?
A lot of friends. So actually within the book, on the inside flaps, is kind of a memorial of a lot of people that I was close to, neighbors, people I went to school with, friends, things like that. And it's never easy, but when I do things like acting or I'm writing, I always carry those people with me, and I feel like they would be proud to have somebody represent not only the Jane and Finch neighborhood, but Driftwood Court in a more positive manner, in a more positive light. So I take that with me every
So
day.
you've got angels around you.
I think so, a little bit. Yeah, I'm lucky, blessed. Ixnay on the lucky part. I think I'm blessed. Yeah.
Yes. And when did you get into acting?
My father, growing up, was Mr. T's stunt double on the TNT series in Toronto.
Remember
So
the A-Team?
yeah. So they.
I pity the fool.
Yeah, I pity the fool. So they had a Canadian version here, based in Toronto, I want to say. And when I was with him on the weekends, or when I was with him, we'd be on a lot of movie sets. So I vividly remember.
bug early.
Yeah, I got that sort of stuff early, and then I kind of put it aside for a little while, that creative side. But I think it was when I finished up university and I came home, it was calling. So I really started to get back into it then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are some of the roles that you've landed?
So I'm starring in a movie called Unusual Circumstances. So that should be hitting film festivals this summer, which should be pretty cool. Yeah. Unusual Circumstances.
Okay,
Yeah.
We'll, look out for that.
I play a guy named Romeo, who's a love-struck. It's a romantic comedy. I play a love-struck guy who just can't seem to find the right woman in his life, but eventually he good things happen for him. I'll leave it at that.
Well, let's say, what is the expression, art imitates life? Is that happening right now?
There's a bit of magic in my life. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, okay. All right. Good stuff. And have you done any TV work? Or?
Oh, not as of yet. Yeah,
No.
not as of yet. No TV work. Well, technically, yeah. Well, I've done a TV, made-for-TV movie in the past called Redemption, the Stan Tookie Williams story. So I had a smaller role in that, doing stunts. So that's namely how I got started. But that was when I was 18, so that was a little while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the book.
Sure.
What was your inspiration for writing it?
So growing up in a neighborhood like Driftwood Court, Jane and Finch, a lot of times you lose friends, and then you hear from the parents and they say, oh, my son was a good son, my son wouldn't do that, my son wouldn't do this. Well, I was in the streets, I know. So there was a point for me where I kind of felt like the walls were closing in just on being in the streets and living that sort of life. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to chronicle not only what's happening to me right now, but more importantly, what led me to some of those actions. And once I really started writing as an outlet, I had about 90 pages, and that was just the middle section. And then I said, well, I can't tell the world about, you know, the middle part, just the bad. I got to tell them about the beginning. And I can't just tell you about the beginning without giving you an end. And next thing you know, I had 200 and some odd pages, and I said, you know what? I think this may actually help somebody in that situation, because, you know, I've been there.
You've been there.
Yeah, I'm not kind of from around Jane and Finch. I'm from the worst part of it. So.
Well, I understand what you're saying, because I'm in the middle of writing a book myself.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you. So I know
Congrats.
the process, and but there's a liberation and a healing too.
Yeah.
You really go there and tell the true essence of you know what you're doing, and my hope is to help someone too.
No, it's a very
Through
cathartic
all the
experience. Yeah.
hellish journey, you know, at the end there is a ray of sunshine. So,
Exactly.
yeah. No, I applaud you for doing that.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And where can people get a copy of the book?
So it's at a bookstore in Toronto called A Different Book List, which is on the corner of Bathurst and Bloor by the old Honest Ed's.
Right.
So they can get it there. They can get it in the Jane and Finch Mall, and all the proceeds are going to the Jane and Finch Boys and Girls Club with this
All of
particular
it?
book. Yeah.
That is so nice. You're awesome.
Thank you.
And where can people find out more information about you?
They can go to michaelaamis.com, or they can also follow me on Instagram at michaelaamis1.
I
So
think you're going to get some followers
I hope so.
tonight. Michael, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure being here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations
Thank
again.
you guys.
Michael A. Amos. We'll be right back with more good stuff.
The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience, or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.nikkiClarkenetwork.com.
A new generation of hope. One of the co-authors of this incredible anthology is Helena Shevpillo. Please welcome her to the show. Thank you for being here.
Much pleasure, much pleasure.
Oh, you're welcome, you're welcome. You know what, you call yourself the happiness guru. Can you talk about what that is?
Sure. Actually, I was given that name or title by my Facebook friends, right? They give it to me, and I said, you know, that's fancy name for the life coach. And I accepted gratefully, right? Who follow me on Facebook, they know what I do on the Facebook. I inspire people every day.
Yes, you do.
And
I like your posts.
Thank you. And you know, then the titles are not. You can put to yourself any title you want to, but when it's given to you, it's you have to greatly accept
you gotta live up to it.
You have to, yeah, that's right. So I said, you know what, let it be, right? And that's what I started my life coaching, starting from Happiness Guru.
Okay.
And I inspire people. I share with my clients. I share my experience, and that's what why I do that.
Okay, because it's
Yeah.
inspiring.
It's
and
inspiring.
Other people.
It's helping others, right? Sometimes you have to listen to other story, not to put yourself in such a situation, right? You just have to listen and just say, yeah, that's smart, right? I'll do this, right? You don't have to go to a circle, you know, to beat up yourself, or to stuck, your head to the wall, right? You just have to listen what other people suggest, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, happiness is a choice, right?
It is,
It's and you know, as the range of human emotions, we go from high to, you know, into the depths of the abyss sometimes, depending on the day. You know, I go through it. We all go through it.
Everybody goes through it.
But what are the things that you can do to stay on a high, or consciously try to stay happy? What are some of the
my
things?
famous quote is for Democritus. It says, the happiness it's not in gold or possessions. It dwells in your soul. People tend to expect or to wait for somebody to make them happy, right? When you do that, then you drop too low, or sometimes you go too high, right? But in order for you to be happy every day, you have to rely on yourself, right? You have to start from your loving yourself, from the self-love, and you have to do that ripple effect right from yourself. You have to be center of your happiness. Because it doesn't matter how much money you make, what you do. And you've heard yesterday the stories, right? One day you wake up and you lost $3 million. So what the gentleman
so
said,
things don't make you happy.
doesn't
Yeah.
make you happy, right?
Right.
Because people tend to put that happiness like at a horizon. They say, I'll get this job, I'll be happy. Or I'll get this position, I'll be happy. It doesn't work like
Or I
that.
get that wife, or I get that husband.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Don't
It
make
does.
me happy.
It doesn't make me
Yeah.
happy, right? The atmosphere we created within yourself, you put it out, right? It's invisible, but you make the people, you welcome people to life. What you put it out, right? If you are negative, you're gonna attract negative people.
True.
And if you're positive, you will attract positive people. And that's how it works, right? So you don't have to rely on job, on positions, on friends. You have to be a center of self-love. You have to be grateful, and that's where happiness starts. And you have to practice. It's like a muscle. You have to be.
You gotta work
You have
out
to work
the
out.
happiness muscle.
You have to be work out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
how it works. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background. So did you grow up in Canada?
No, I came to Canada almost 20 years ago, and
From where?
From Ukraine.
Okay.
Yeah, I have BA of economy back from Ukraine, and I've been married for 24 years, and I have kids in the range of 22 and 4.5. I have 3 kids.
22, 4.
4 and 5.5.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've been managing a post office for about 15 years in Jan and Wilson area, where Michael, not far from Michael. And I love people, right? I have to say that experience kind of brought me to where I am now, because I see people not by color, not by nationality, not where they come from. I see their soul, right? So that's how I treat people, right? It doesn't
Sure.
matter to me you from that country or that position. It doesn't matter. The money, the positions, it doesn't matter then. It's who you are, right? That's
Yeah.
how we treat people.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, that's what matters, because people remember how you make them feel.
That's
the end
very
of the
true.
day.
That's a very good point. Yeah. At the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what matters. Yeah.
So how did you meet Anita Sachesky, who is a good friend of mine? She is also a publisher, and she's nurturing me with the book that I have coming out.
Yeah.
So how did you connect with her, and tell us about your part in this
I
book?
am a fan of networking, right? I met her one of networking event, and before that, about prior 2 months, I had the idea. I said, I have to write the book. I don't know what's going to be a book about. It's end up to be a chapter in the book, which is a big thing regardless, right? By the time you're going to come to become owner of the book, you have to write the chapter. And she said she has that project. I said, that's wonderful, right? So we got to that project, and I didn't know what it's going to be a book about. And she said, that's about love, right? And to me, that time I kind of refocused my energy and my experience, and has to be all positive. That's how it is, because there's so many people that put negativity out. This is negative, parents bad, husband bad, kids bad, right? That's how you project everything, you attract, right? I said, you know what, it's not gonna happen, right? So the book is about love, about relation, about energy. And it's all positive, because we have to nurture those things what we have today. We don't must to have those. Those things are given, and we have to appreciate. When we appreciate more, we get more.
So gratitude invites more
positivity,
and-
blessings, whichever you call it. The universe sends you
Right.
10 times more than what you put out, right?
Really?
Yeah. So you can practice that.
Okay.
I practiced that at work a long time ago. I said, you know what, I'm not feeling well today. And as soon as you thought that, you got a negative customer. And you can tell by looking at it, it's going to be trouble, right? So you can practice that within half an hour, set up your mind, go out to see what happened.
Okay.
If you're positive, you're going to get 3-4 positive people. If you're negative, you're going to attract so much negativity
Yes.
that you regret it by doing that, right? So that's how it works, right? People don't realize that, because that atmosphere, what you create in your inside, it's attract people.
Yeah.
They get sucked in
Sure.
in your drama or in your happiness.
Yeah,
Either way.
Well, when you relate to people, it's a dynamic process. So they are reacting to your
Yeah.
behavior
Yeah.
and vice versa. So
Yeah.
you really have to be conscious of that. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of
That's a
thoughts.
lot, yeah.
So you have to filter through the negative thoughts and really
You
get
have to
through.
filter, yeah. That's how it.
But I understand what you're saying. So you have made the commitment to be a happiness guru, and you are a co-author of this love project. So you have to insulate yourself in loving thoughts and loving behaviors in order to be consistent with
Correct.
this whole idea.
You
right?
have to be like my choice. As you said, the happiness is a choice, right? I choose to be happy, and help other people to understand where it's come from. That's all, right? You cannot push anybody to be happy. You cannot push anybody to, but person has to understand where it's come from, so they can practice that. And by
Absolutely.
practicing about, say, 21 days, you can practice the act of the gratitude. The act of, if you feel depressed, you can go and inspire somebody. And they said, the grateful person is never depressed.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's how it works. Yeah.
Okay. Well, how can people get a copy of the book?
The book is, I have about 2 more books, right, to give away to the audience. And
Nice. All right. Who wants a copy?
Yeah. And they can buy it on Amazon or Kindle. And that's about it, yeah.
Fantastic. Helena, thank you so much for your
My
pearls of
pleasure.
wisdom, and I wish you the best of luck. Is another book coming out?
Yeah, there's another coming under my name, and it's, I don't have the title yet. Either it's How to Be Happy Today or Diary of My Happiness. I didn't choose yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
but that's the thing.
Yeah.
Happiness.
That's a
Okay.
happiness, yeah. It's
All
only
right.
happiness, yeah.
Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you so
here.
much.
The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience, or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.nikkiClarkenetwork.com.
All right. Thank you. Welcome back. Now, this lovely lady beside me is a certified romance travel designer, and she's got some more good things to announce. Please welcome Mika Vanfield to the show. You look like radiant. You are glowing.
Thank you.
Okay, I think for a number of reasons. You just got back from
Yes.
St. Lucia, so you've got this gorgeous tan.
The Caribbean sun.
The Caribbean sun
Yes.
kissed you all over. And then the hair, I love the natural hair.
Thank
That's
you.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Must be easy to maintain.
Very.
Wash and go.
Very.
Yeah.
Very. Shower out, I'm out the door.
I love it. So you've been globe-trotting now for over 17 years.
Yeah.
Can you tell me some of the countries that you've experienced?
Oh my goodness. So starting way back in the day, I would travel back and forth to see family. From Toronto, London. I'm originally from Jamaica, so I go back home a lot.
Any Jamaicans in the house?
Show Jamaica some love. More recently, though, some of the places I've been to, Egypt is definitely one of my favorite destinations. Through Asia in there last year, did Hong Kong, did Thailand. Where else I would say? Italy. Went from Rome down to the South Coast.
Did you do the Eurail? Did you go on the train?
No, not yet.
No.
I have plans for that this summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bring me. Should be my first time in Europe.
Why not? Yeah, definitely. I have a few favorite destinations for a few different reasons. Yeah, but I'd probably say at the top of my list, Egypt is one of them for sure.
Yeah, so you went to the pyramids.
I did. It's so funny, when we got in, it was about 5 in the morning, and we're exhausted. We went to bed, and I woke up, and we left our hotel room to go have breakfast. And when we stepped outside the hotel, the pyramids were right there.
Wow.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
can't even describe. Are they tall?
They're ridiculously tall.
Yeah.
And it's weird because they're huge, and next to the pyramid, you look like an ant.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go inside, it's like, it's just all brick. It's like this tiny inside. It's like a tiny track, and you go in, and you go into like a small room, and the stairs are literally like that wide.
Yeah.
And you can only have single files of people going in and out.
It's amazing, and
Yes,
the architect. I mean, people put this together.
Exactly. And when you're there and you do your tour and you hear the stories. I mean, you've seen videos and you hear the stories of how they were built. It's unimaginable. you standing there to such monuments, knowing, you know, tons and tons of years ago what was happening, to put them all together.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Wow, beautiful. All right. So, when did you decide to become a certified romance traveler designer, and what is that exactly?
So, a romance travel designer is, there's travel, and then there's romance travel. Romance travel, it's a niche where we focus more on couples getaways, really embodying and focusing on the love in a relationship between partners. So a romance travel designer is a certified travel agent that will, that's their niche, that's their area of specification, is they work with a lot of couples, they plan a lot of honeymoons, destination weddings, that kind of thing, proposals, anniversaries, that kind of thing. And I think I decided that I wanted that to be my niche about 2 years ago. And that was really because I was working in a local travel agency. I was managing the travel agency, and I was interacting a lot with clients. And I absolutely love travel, love speaking about travel. But I realized I would get so excited when I had a wedding inquiry or a honeymoon inquiry. And it wasn't so much more about the actual wedding. It was more about getting to know my couple. So tell me your story. How did you guys meet? How did you fall in love? You know, what brought you to this point? And just that transfer of energy between the couple and the interaction that you would have, that brought me to another level. And I realized that, going back to the saying, you'll never work a day in your life if you love what you do. That's exactly what I wanted to create.
Yeah, someone like that. Yeah, I like that too. Very good.
Yeah, so yeah, it was then where I decided to make the decision that, you know, I'd still be able to do travel, which is exactly what I love, but focus more on that particular niche and being able to speak to clients every day about love and about relationships and about the focus that needs to be had.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Wow. I think that's fascinating, and you must work with different couples. I mean, there are some couples that fall under the traditional type of needs and wants, and then you may have some couples that are a little bit odd. Did you ever encounter those that have these like really weird requests? Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely, we can. You do definitely go from your traditional, which is, your cookie cutter. I want to go away. I want to go to an all-inclusive, and you get your standard. I want to wake up and I want to look at the water. Yeah, you're going to get an ocean view room. And then you get those couples that they're either avid travelers or they're explorers. And they're the ones that really let me put my, romance travel hat on and think, you're not that couple that just wants a regular all-inclusive. You're not that couple that just wants to wake up and lay on the beach. You're that couple that's looking for adventure. Mm-hmm. And it ranges anywhere from, a couple that wants to travel to Belize, or a couple that wants to go to particular, destinations or a particular resort that's not the norm. And yes, Ms. Donna Savage. Mm-hmm. And because, they're adults, they're looking for an adult getaway. They're looking for adult fun.
Some adult play.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it definitely spans across the spectrum for sure.
Fantastic. So what's the trend now for travel? Where are people going? Where are they flocking to?
It does vary, and it really does go by season. I mean, because of our location being so close to the Caribbean's definitely hot. It's always hot. I find like now I'm getting a lot of requests though for, Brazil.
Wow.
Especially after the stint we had last year with the World Cup. A lot of people want to get out and know Brazil and Central America. That's huge. For Europe, I find now a lot of people are getting into, Barcelona. They're getting into Spain, and they want to go see Ibiza. They want to get to know that side of Europe. So, yeah, a lot of those requests.
Anybody going away this month or in the next 3 months? Make some noise if you are.
Oh.
Or just got back? Okay, so maybe you've got some questions then for this world traveler. Yeah. So you also have a big announcement today. You just did another huge accomplishment. You want to share what that is?
I did. So I wear many hats, and going back to, you know, the saying, love what you do and not work a day in your life, I've sort of created a life where I get up every day and I absolutely jump out of bed with a smile on my face because I'm having the opportunity to help people. With my travel, it's helping couples, it's helping people see the world through my eyes and through my experiences. But today I actually accomplished a license in financial services so I can actually help families accomplish their dreams and see that it is possible. And I've got my team here, which is amazing, and a couple of us. It's a big accomplishment because it's another step in the journey to something that's greater, and I can feel it. So I'm really looking forward to it, really looking forward to coupling both of what I do, and the most beautiful thing about it is I get to help people with both things that I'm doing, so.
Fantastic. I congratulate you.
Thank you.
And yeah, there just seems, since the last time we saw each other, such a transformation. Yes. And a beautiful transformation. So keep doing what you're doing. And where can people find you?
So everyone can find me on my website, mikavanvield.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Mika Van Vield. Definitely stay tuned. There's a lot in store. I'm recently landed a writing gig with a local paper in our city. So you'll be reading about travel. Absolutely. It's the Toronto Caribbean, and the issue will be out May the 6th.
Nice. That's good. So look out for Mika Van Vield's column.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. That'll be
Mika, it's a
interesting.
pleasure. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I love it. All right, we'll be right back.
The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.nikkiClarkenetwork.com.
Founder of Beauty in You Hair and Makeup. Please welcome Diana Henry. Diana. I like that necklace you're wearing, by the way.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if I've told you enough. I like that. So the scissors, it's got
it's a hair.
Lipstick.
Scissors.
Yeah, where'd you get that, by the way?
I got it actually at BCI hair store in the Scarborough. They gave it to me for one of my hair shows. They had a booth. And they got some new jewelry and stuff, and they were like, "This would be so perfect." It's like, I love it.
Yeah.
So they gave it to me, and I was like,
Very
I wear it
nice.
all the time when I have an event to go out, but I love it. It represents what I do. So
Appropriate, yes, nicely done. So you have over 20 years experience as a highly regarded hairdresser and makeup artist in the Toronto fashion circuit.
I'm old. I'm old.
Don't say that. Don't say that. You're seasoned.
Okay, I'm seasoned. That's good.
What inspired you to get into the beauty business?
I've always had an interest and a love for hair and for makeup, and I love my mother to death. But
Mommy's here, by the way.
Mommy's here, and she always did my hair, and I'd want it to go one way, and she wanted to go the other, and it just wasn't working. So she was like, "Fine, do your own hair." And I started doing hair at a very young age. At 11, I think I was doing my own hair, and that's what really kind of pushed me into the hair industry. Because when I used to go to school, everybody was like, "Your hair looks great." So that was kind of how I got into it, saying, "Oh, I'm talented. I got a bit of skills."
Awesome. Awesome. And I know my mother was very particular about hair. You know, I had to get the inspection before I left because, you know, you're representing me and I don't want any embarrassment on the street. So, you know, West Indian moms, and I'm sure a lot of other moms, they're very like, make sure their girls are looking right.
For sure.
So now you started 6 years ago. Because this is going to be the 6th annual show, the Beauty in You Hair and Makeup Show.
Yes.
And why did you start it, and when?
Well, as you know, I've been doing hair for a long time. I've created the business Beauty in You for over 10 years, and I wanted to do something that was going to let people know that I exist, and that what I was able to do to... So many women had concerns with their hair and with this makeup and stuff, and I wanted to let people know that I was available, that I could provide a service to them to let them feel the way they wanted to feel, was just, you know, finding their beauty in you and be able to just get the hairstyles and the treatments and the makeup that they wanted.
Okay. So the show started. People love the concept,
Yes.
and it's just been going strong
just been
since.
going, yes.
The theme I like what you're doing. The theme of this year is "I love my flaws."
Yes.
Now, why did you come up with that idea?
Came up with it because I mentor a lot of students and young women about self-esteem and body image and how to carry yourself and how to learn to love yourself. And I had a session one day with some students, and I was like, you have to look in the mirror and find something that you like about yourself and speak to the audience about it. And 3 girls left the room saying they can't stand the way they looked.
Wow.
And I was so heartbroken.
How old were they?
They were like 18. Yeah, in high school. So I was so heartbroken from that. I had to change my whole program on what I was trying to teach because it wasn't there. They weren't ready for it. So I basically said I want to launch my Love My Flaws campaign to let women and young girls know you have to embrace everything's about your internal, and you have to embrace the woman in you and nurture that and
Awesome.
and be able to love the flaws of what you're doing.
I think everyone in the room, men and women, can attest to, having
For
that
sure.
maybe that moment where you're just like
Yeah.
not really comfortable in the skin that you're in
Right.
or something. Like for a long time, the freckles I had, I really did not want them.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's pretty cool
You like
having
them.
freckles.
For sure.
So yeah, but everybody goes
Yes,
through that.
everybody goes through it.
So the I Love My Flaws
Yes.
theme is something that you do on a regular basis. This is an
Yes.
empowerment workshop with
Yes.
girls.
With girls that I do, yes.
Okay, and what are the age ranges?
Between 15 and I'd say like 30, because some people it's a constant ongoing thing.
Right.
It's a struggle that some people probably come to terms at an early age, and some people they struggle through their whole life. And
Okay.
every day when you get up, the first thing you see is you.
Right.
So you have to be comfortable with you to know that you can go on in your day with what you see is good, and that you're God's creation. So there's really no imperfections, but we find so much fault about ourselves that we start analyzing and breaking ourselves down, and it's not acceptable. So
Exactly.
it's just a way to kind of boost ourselves. We need it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this reinforces it, this whole
Yes.
show. So tell me about what we can expect. June 12th is the magical day.
Yes.
And what's in store for us?
It will be great. We always do a good hair segment, so
Yeah.
we get to showcase hairstylists, myself, and others, because the show started off with me introducing myself, but I've grown to allow other hairstylists, makeup artists, or young ladies who want to be an entrepreneur, want to get into the beauty industry. It gives them an opportunity to showcase their work. And we're doing a little bit different. We're going to have a guest panel and discussions and workshops so everybody can get something and walk away from feeling empowered. We have great performances, so it's definitely a night of empowerment about building ourselves as individuals, as women and men, and just feeling good about who we are from the inside out.
Okay, and where's it going to be this year?
It is going to be in Ajax at Carruthers Creek Golf Club, Country Club. So yes, so it's going to be back in
Yeah.
Ajax. So yeah,
Very swanky.
I'm excited. Yes, it's nice. So it's going to be really good.
And what kind of performances are you going to have? I think one of them is here, Alicia Cinnamon. She will be performing,
Yes.
and who else?
We have I don't really want to say
You
yet,
can't say?
but we don't,
Okay.
it's
Sorry.
simple. You gotta come. You gotta
Okay.
come. You gotta be present
Okay.
to get the whole. But we have a lot of young artists that's gonna showcase themselves for the first time, and yeah.
Oh,
and
it's
some
exciting. I
talented
was there
people.
last year, and it's truly an experience.
Yes.
And how you did it was beautiful in that you really told a story from the time you
Yes.
were a child.
Yeah.
We got a glimpse
Oh, yeah,
of
that's
you in your
right.
bedroom and all the dreams that you had of being
Yes, a
who you are
hairstylist.
now. And you
Yeah.
walked us through that very nicely in a kind of musical journey.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to see
Thank
how you're
you
going
so
to
much.
do this. Another extravaganza of
Yes.
that. So what day again and what time? And where can people get the tickets?
It is Friday, June 12th. Tickets you can get online at ticketgateway.com. You can get at Rum Diaries in Ajax and Scarborough at Two Line Music Hut, and also Dam's Meat Grocery Market in
Okay.
Ajax.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great. And
It's gonna be great.
is there anything that you'd like to tell someone in the audience, audience land actually, if you look in the camera,
Yes.
about someone who's doubtful about the way they look? What would you advise them?
I would say, you have to start with loving yourself first, and you have to take a real good look at yourself and see the beauty in you. And you just have to, it's a struggle, it's a tug of war. It's never easy, but you definitely just have to get up every day and know that as long as you're here and that you exist and you wake up every morning, you have something to offer and give, and you have to see yourself as a beautiful canvas and that what you want to give and offer to the world.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Henry, where can people find you? What's your website?
My website is beautyandyouhairandmakeup.com. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, beautyandyouhairandmakeup.com. I'm everywhere. I'm
Right.
stock people, so I'm everywhere. So.
And I want to thank you for the giveaways, 2
Just
tickets.
no problem.
I love the honest number box.
Thank you.
And we also have some good news,
Yes.
right? Diana's company is going to be sponsoring the Nikki Clarke show, so
Yes.
you're going to be taking care of my
Yes, I will
beauty
be.
needs. So thank you
Yay,
very
I'm
much.
excited. I'm excited. Can I say one more thing? And just for everyone to know that we do on Friday, it starts, we have a beauty challenge so people can participate and possibly win other tickets for our event. But the beauty challenge is, again, it's a lot of people taking selfies and nobody's really about working on themselves. So it's just to write a little story that you're embracing about yourself and put it onto the Beauty and You Hair and Makeup, hashtag beauty, BIY. I love my flaws, and we have some great giveaways that everybody can get. and
Okay, so every
participate.
Friday,
Yes.
and the hashtag is
BIY.
Okay.
I love my flaws.
I love my flaws, and
Yes.
just like a line and
Just
a
a
picture.
line and a picture of what you feel about yourself and how you've
I
grown
think
to
that's
love
a great
yourself.
idea. Okay.
And yeah,
Get tweeting. Okay.
yes, get tweeting, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
awesome.
Thank you for having me, Nikki. Thank you.
We'll be right back with some more
Thank
great
you.
stuff. Thanks, Diana.
The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.nikkiClarkenetwork.com.
Remember when you used to say I was the baddest? Now look at what I do, cause you next. She writes, she raps, she sings, she does it all. And I gotta give it up for our handsome son over there. Y'all notice him? Yeah! What's your name? Come up here, get a little family love. Come on up here, don't be shy. What's your name?
Judy.
Yeah, very nice that you came to support your mom. Isn't she amazing? Yeah. And she supports you too, because you're a great basketball player here. Where do you play?
I play for Northern Kings.
Woo, there you go. All right, it's in the family line, the bloodline. So tell me again about the Northern Queens event. What can we expect?
So basically we have, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, let me say some of these names. Do you guys know Layla Day? No? Well, you're gonna get familiar with her. She's absolutely amazing soul singer, songwriter. We have Havea Lively. She's very young and up and coming, and she just completely blew my mind. She's a rapper and a singer. We also have Little T. She's 16 years old.
She's amazing.
So yeah, she's just out of this world. The energy is amazing. We have like a very vast variety of urban music. We have anything from like neo soul to R&B to hip hop to trap music. So so the door opens at 9. Show starts at 10, and then we have an after party after the ladies are finished. So yeah. So add me and I'll let you know all the information where it is. But if you got great memory, 291 King Street West, the Pearl King Restaurant, and there's great food there too as well. There's great food here too.
Awesome, and I'm happy to do a little number for you too. Thank you very much. All right, so you got all the information from Northern Queens. Lisa Cinnamon, where can people find your other music?
So you can find me on SoundCloud at Cinnamon1-1, but the easiest way to find me is just to Google me. Just pop me in the search engine and everything pretty much shows up.
And she's here at the show taping.
There you go, every second Wednesday for the show. So make sure you guys come back and get some entertainment and great food.
Thank you so much. Again, Alicia Cinnamon. She's amazing.
The Nikki Clarke Show, transforming lives one story at a time. If you would like to be a guest or become a part of our live studio audience or even to become a sponsor, just go to www.NikkiClarkeNetwork.com.